What's up, y'all? We are back. Episode 3, Baddies, Season 2, Baddies South. I'm excited because we got something good to talk about. So far, the season's been good. But before we get into that, I want to thank y'all again, like I always do. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Y'all did like the same thing you did last week. Basically got me like 30 plus subscribers. Thank you. That's all I can say is thank you, because I've been trying. I've been working hard. I've been trying to get this check. And when I say I've been working hard, I do my own stuff. Like, I can easily react to videos and stuff that I've already seen, but I want to give genuine stuff and like real stuff. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me and continuing to subscribe. If you haven't already, please do that. Drop your comments. Let me know what y'all think about the episode. And yeah, follow me on social media. All that shit will be in the info box as well as on the screen. But let's go. I've never talked about this. I feel like I haven't talked about it the first 2 episodes. But the theme song for the show, I really like it. It's lit. Like, when the song come on, I'll be like, okay, this is nice. But just want to get that out of the way because I liked it. But we get back from the Ann versus Persuasion fight at the end of last week's episode. And we get back to them on the ground, basically tussling, and Sway's got Ann's hair in her hand, and they're basically separated by security who's laying on the floor with them. And Ann's sitting there kicking security, and security's like, you kicking me, you ain't kicking her. And then she's like, why is he right here where Sway's supposed to be? That was a funny moment. They ended up getting up, and when they got up, Sway was like, I don't know why you were sitting here trying to do this and whatnot. You wanted to fight, you got the fight that you didn't want. Because it looked like Sway had her, like, at least in a lock. We ain't seen no fists being thrown, but in terms of who had the best of each other at that moment in time, it was definitely Sway. She had the best of Ann. So then Ann runs up again, and it looks like Ann was swinging that time. I don't know if it connected because we couldn't see, but it got broken up pretty quick. Sway ended up grabbing, I think she grabbed Ann's hair, but I don't know if she got too much of it, but she got her wig back because her wig was on the floor. But then everybody else comes down, and they just sitting around looking and whatnot. And then I guess Rock had said something to Sway in between it. So now Rock is one to get her one on in. And this is, y'all know I love Rock. I love Rock, but Rock is notorious for jumping in fights. So I don't want her to do this, but that's what she was trying to do. She's trying to get in because she done saw Ann getting her one on in. So she's like, okay, let me go ahead and get mine too because I still want my fave. She said, still run me my fave. So Sway starts walking out, and as they doing this, Rollie Polie and Slim saying they confessionals have basically the same thing I just said. Let them have their one-on-one. If you want to have your one-on-one with her, do it, but just don't be trying to do it now. Like, you just saw they just fought. You don't need to do it now. Like, get your one-on-one whenever you want your one-on-one, but just don't do it now. Because they just got done fighting. It's just like, let them have that moment, which I agreed with. But as they basically separate each other, because Sway goes outside, Ann goes upstairs. Ann's upstairs talking shit, kicking shit. And this is probably an unpopular opinion. And I like Ann. Ann is a troll, and I'm gonna get to that point in the end of this little segment of the review, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But like I said, she's upstairs. Sway's outside saying she's not about to be getting attacked. She said she ain't about to be the carry-on of this season. And you know who carry-on is if you watch Bad Boys, because they was on his ass for the majority of the season. So she said it's not gonna be her. So she outside and she's smoking. Production's pretty much trying to calm down Rock, because Rock is still wanting to fight Sway. And it was funny because production was telling Rock, like, we sat here and prayed about some shit early this morning. I don't want you doing this, da da da. They was laughing and stuff. It was funny. Funny little moment. But then Rock said basically, like, in her confessional, she's like, you was sitting here trying to bully me, so now I'm going to bully you because you sitting here talking about me and you talking about her boy, Blueface. So she's like, at this point, I can see why Rock is feeling the way she is, and I can see why Rock wants to fight her still. And I don't fault her for wanting to fight her, but just fight her when you initiate it. Don't just do it because you see Ann getting her one on in. Cause Rock, we already know Rock is about that life. She's really with it. But then we get Rock and Ann. Rock and Ann, these two are, I can already tell they close, cause they both kind of have the same troll-like energy. They don't take too much too serious, and they sitting there laughing and stuff, calling the girls pussies and stuff, and saying like, we the two girls on here that ain't really on these shows. Well, I can't say that because Rock was on Bad Girls. But she's saying, like, we the two real ones in here. Like, we the two that have shown that we about what we about. So they sitting in the kitchen and whatever, and they laughing and stuff. What did Ann say? Ann, because Rock basically asked Ann what she did to start the fight, and she's like, I just checked her because like you ain't gonna be talking shit about me when I'm not here, and then think I'm not gonna do nothing about it. So basically, she was just running down the situation with Ann, and she's basically said, what did Rock say? Rock asked her something like, you could have done it on the bus and whatnot, because they was basically saying they should have done it on the bus, the fighting on the bus, because then they wouldn't have gotten separated as quickly as that. But I don't know if that's true too, but maybe, I don't know. Fighting on them buses and fighting on the limos, I ain't really a fan of that because I'm very claustrophobic. So if anything, if I'm gonna fight, I need some space. I can't be doing it on no tight ass bus. But they basically were saying that, and then Ann said that she wanted to kind of start off the altercation by getting some solutions. She said something, I forget what she said, but it was funny. Basically saying like, she didn't want to start a problem, but she wanted to begin the problem. And then try and see if we can find a solution, aka by running them hands. But Rock was sitting there eating her cereal, and Ann sitting there being just a clown and a troll. And Rock sitting there laughing. Like I said, I can't help but like Ann. Ann is funny. I already love Rock. But Ann is funny. She's a troll. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I like her. But that was the beginning of that scene. So let's see what else is about to happen. And also, let me say this too. Zeus, the way they put this together, this is the first time I feel like they've actually put together scenes from a fight where they normally would drag this whole thing out. They've actually edited it well to where it kind of looks like a TV show. Two claps. All right, so Natalie goes outside and checks on Sway. Sway's outside and basically she's telling Natalie she about to go. Like she said she ready to go because she's tired of the bullshit. She's tired of getting attacked. She said also she's tired about her wig getting snatched. It's the second time she got a wig snatched. And she mentioned too that she got her wig installed like an hour before her fight with Ann. So she basically saying like, I done paid $900 just for my wig to get snatched. And it ain't even been on long enough for me to really have a look and like look good for the day. So she pissed off and she mad about it. But Natalie's basically sitting there saying in her confessional, they got to get on the bus and get the fuck on because fights keep happening. So as she's doing that, Ann, Krishan, and Rollie are outside. And Rollie's basically asking Ann, like, what's the deal? Like, why'd you want to fight her when you got an issue with Bree? Like, what did Sway do that made you want to fight her? Because I thought that your issue was with Bree. And then runs down and tells her, like, she shares a room with Bree. And I guess Persuasion had heard Ann saying that she was going to fight her and whatnot. And then, like she said, like Ann said last week in the confrontation with Sway, is that she heard that Persuasion went and told Bree that she needed to prepare for a fight or whatnot. And she basically saying, like, I already told the girl, like, it is what it is, so be ready for whatever. And she basically saying, I don't need somebody trying to prepare people for fights and whatnot. So she said she wanted to do that to her. So then, as she's saying that, Rollie said, she was basically saying the same thing that Natalie said, like, let's make it to Charlotte first. And then Rollie said, basically was trying to tell them, act right. Like, get on this bus and act right. And then they both, Rock and Ann, they was looking like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, what? And Rollie was basically being Rollie, like we know Rollie is. She said, I'm just letting you know now, because if you get on this bus and you start fighting and whatnot, regardless if you're trying to fight somebody else, if you touch me, if you hit me, I'm swinging. And when I say I felt her completely with that, I always say that. If you swinging on somebody or if you trying to fight somebody, if I'm right here and you end up hitting me, it's on. Like, we're going to have to fight. And that's basically what Rollie was saying. And Krishan got a little irritated by it. She started walking off and whatnot. And Krishan was like, yeah, like, you know, I already knew Krishan was going to feel the type of way about it. But I see exactly where Rollie was coming from. Because I feel the same way. Like, it is what it is. I mean, if you end up swinging and you miss and you end up hitting me, then you have another fight on your hands. But it was funny too because Ann was like playfully getting in Rollie's face. And Rollie was like, you trying to fight? Like, what's up? And they were sitting there laughing and whatnot. Which is interesting because we know they're going to fight at the end of the episode if they show it. But we get the next scene. The next scene is Natalie. Natalie's basically got the girls in the living room trying to talk to the girls, letting them know they're about to go to Charlotte. So, which is here, where I'm from. But Rock was sitting there listening to music again, and Natalie got irritated trying to tell her, like, take the shit out or at least turn the music down. Because if I can hear your music, I know you can't hear me. But Natalie wasn't saying nothing. No way. All you was doing was telling them that they about to go. And if everybody else starts walking out, obviously Rock is going to see them walking out. And she's going to get up and walk out too. Like, she don't need to hear you say that shit. But they ended up going outside. And as they're going outside to the bus, Bree is basically getting ready. She's saying in her confessional, she got some shit she got to handle before they get on that bus. She drops her shit. She asks Ann, what's up? Like, what you trying to do? Ann drops her shit too. And that's why I say I can respect it. Because both girls, they was ready for whatever. And looked like Bree ran over there and jumped on her. And they was just rolling. And I ain't see nobody really throw any hands, but they was doing enough damage to where when Brie got up, her nose was red, and Ann's hair was still kind of like the way it was before. But I can't tell you who won the fight. Natalie said DeGrasse won the fight, but Natalie ain't somebody really be talking about people winning fights because she ain't won one either. But truth be told, I'm gonna call it a draw because I ain't seen anything to happen. Brie, I know Brie can fight, and I ain't really seen too much from her yet in terms of fighting. But it is what it is. But Jayla was basically saying like she glad Brie got this shit done because in a way Jayla was saying she felt like I don't know if she was really gonna do nothing about it. But I'm glad she got her one on in before we got on this bus. She said because if we get on this bus and you trying to do this stuff, and basically she on the same energy Rollie was on. If you on that bus trying to do that stuff, then we don't have an issue. But she was like she's glad that she handled her business before they got on that bus. So we about to see what's about to happen because they on the bus now. Alright, this is a quick little scene. They get on the bus and Brie gets on the bus. She excited and whatnot because she handled her business and whatnot. Rock applauds her. She's like, because I didn't think she had it in there. I didn't think she was going to do nothing. She said they did something, but all they did was follow around on the grass. Rock was like me. I ain't seen no hands thrown. And Rock didn't see it either, so she was disappointed in that. But she said that she felt like Brie redeemed herself. And is pissed off. She in the house. She mad because her wig got snatched. I didn't see that part, but she said her wig got snatched, or her weave got snatched, or at least it got fucked up. She said her shoes were dirty. Brie's on the bus talking to the girls and whatnot, and they basically applauding her too. And she's saying she did have a little bit of anxiety fighting her because she is bigger. But I don't know why you had any anxiety with that, because me in general, I don't feel like fighting people that are bigger than you is much of a challenge. At least not from my experience, but whatever, to each his own. That's what she said. But Ann gets on the bus. She basically was like, these girls don't scare me. I'm still getting on the bus. It is what it is. So they on their way. So they get on the bus and they start making TikToks and dancing and whatnot. And I had to say this too. I forgot to say it in the last one. Sway looked good in her confessionals. Like, she looked real good. Sway looks probably the best besides Jayla in her confessionals. But Sway looked good in her confessionals. And she stayed that way all day, every day. But Rollie got them on the boat, deep throating bananas. So that was one little interesting scene. Natalie was showing off. Natalie could deep throat it just like Rollie could. They all was impressed. But yeah, they just basically having fun on the bus and whatnot. It was kind of like a little lighthearted moment. Natalie was talking about, like she's basically saying like, yeah, we having fun. That's what I want. This fun stuff. No crazy shit, just turning up and whatnot. No fighting, no arguing. But when she said that in her confessional, it seems her confessionals out of everybody seems the most forced. Everybody else seems natural. Her shit seems forced. So I'm like, Natalie, hers should be the most natural because she's the vet. Like, she's the real vet in the reality game on the show. But whatever. So then they was playing Never Have I Ever. And they just went through a bunch of different options and whatnot. But the one that really stuck out to me was when Sway said that she had anal 4 hours in a row with her baby daddy. And Jayla and Rock, they both made the same face. They sit next to each other, but they don't see each other. But they made the same face. And the face that they made me laugh because they both look like, what the fuck? Like 4 hours in your ass? Like, that's a lot. But they ended up noticing that Ann wasn't there. So they basically, because Natalie was like, who sucked the bottle? Like, sucked the whole bottle like Ann has. And they looking for Ann. They're like, where she at? Ann is up in the front with her AirPods in. She laying on the couch with the blanket over and she sleep. And that made me realize too, I'm like, these buses, like, I'm like, how would I feel on a tour bus? Because it's very tight, and in them little bunk beds they have, I wouldn't call them bunk beds, like in the shed. I don't even know what you call it, but it's like a window. It's too tight. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be sleeping like Ann was on the couch. But let's see what else is about to happen. Yeah, that was a lot. Okay, so we get Rock and Sway. They kind of like panning in. Like, you can see them in the corner, and Rock was sitting on like the counter, and Sway picks her up and puts her on her lap. So I'm like, okay, so they must be having a little moment. So they having a heart-to-heart. Rock is basically saying like words hurt her and whatnot, and she's saying basically the words that Sway said, basically saying all the shit that she said that provoked her into fighting. She said that hurt more, probably hurt more than what Rock did to Sway physically. And Rock was basically getting emotional and whatnot, but Sway owned up to her being judgmental and like judging things before it happened and whatnot. So in a way, both girls were definitely taking accountability. It was pretty interesting to see because I haven't ever seen this shit on Zeus. Like some grown woman shit. Even the men last season on Bad Boys. I haven't seen this. So it was interesting to see like a moment where these two women were actually trying to come to common ground instead of fighting it out. because that's what Rock was crying about. She even said it too, which is interesting because we all know Rock for fighting, really. She said like they have a good opportunity to kind of put on for women and like be baddies and like really like take over and just empower women and whatnot, which was interesting to hear it coming from Rock of all people too, which is so funny. But they had like a little pretty decent moment. Sway got emotional as well. Both girls were crying at one point. But Sway got emotional because she was saying basically things rubbed her the wrong way. And she said that she felt like her being older, she should have taken a more mature approach. Actually sat there and actually thought about what she was doing before she did it. So like I said, just basically owning up to the shit. But then she ends up saying that she found out that she beat cancer. And that is something serious. Most of the girls, and I'm going to say most of the girls because we find out later on something else, but I'll get to it. Most of the girls were empathetic. Like, they were looking like, damn, like, that's rough. Rock is like, and I just beat a bitch. I slapped the bitch that had skin cancer. And I'm like, Rock, dude, like, you can't do that. You can't do that, Rock. And then Rock ended up getting up because Slim was checking it too. Slim was like, she just told you that she beat cancer. Like, this girl been going through some shit. And Rock was like, I'm going through some shit too. Which, that again, Rock can't be thinking that way. But then that's where Rock is a child. Like, you can see she's younger. Because people go through shit. Like, just because you going through shit don't mean somebody else ain't going through shit. And it don't make you going through shit matter more than the other person. Like, that's just that's where Slim was coming from. But Rock ended up walking out. And as Sway is opening up, Natalie comes over and is hugging her. Bree comes over and is hugging her and whatnot, giving her like some comfort and whatnot. Jayla is sitting over there like she's not bothered by it at all, but she gets up too. When she gets up, they play her confessional. She said that she didn't have cancer. She said she had an irregular pap smear. So I'm like, so what is it? Like, is Jayla being real? Is Jayla telling the truth? Or is Sway lying? And it's like, Jayla typically is the one that is the most valued, at least for me, in terms of opinions. Because Jayla is, out of all these women on here, I'm probably going to say Jayla is the smartest one on the show. And at least to me, I feel like she's the realest one on the show. So I don't know. I don't know if it's real or not. I don't know if it happened or not. But she ended up getting up. Sway was talking about how she contemplated having suicide and contemplated going through with suicide attempts and whatnot, which it's deep. It got pretty deep. She was crying and everything. They were comforting her and stuff, so that was good. But then Rock, Slim, and Jayla ended up coming back. They came back with some tissues and whatnot just to kind of help her out. But then they all kind of came together and had a little kumbaya moment. They were giving cheers to having a healthy life for Sway and whatnot. Rock led the charge in that, basically saying that she hopes she gets more beautiful than she is. And she had a prayer. She led a prayer too, which was funny. I was just waiting on Rock to cuss in the middle of the prayer, but she didn't. So that was interesting. I mean, the whole scene was interesting. So I don't know. We'll see what else is about to happen, which I found interesting too, how Rock came back and immediately started being nice again. So I don't know. Rock is so stupid. I'm going to get to her in a second, but they get to Charlotte. They're in Lake Norman. I knew exactly where they were at. Which is basically in Cornelius, which like Bree said, they are far away from the city, which they are. That's like a good maybe 35, 40 minute drive from the city. But they get in there and they start looking for rooms and whatnot because Natalie tells them, I think Jayla and Natalie were on the main floor. Sway and Bree are downstairs, and then Rock, Sway, or Slim and Rollie are upstairs, and Slim and Rollie are sharing, and Ann and Rock are sharing, and Bree and Sway are sharing. So Jayla and Natalie, they go looking for their room. I guess Jayla liked Natalie's room more. She started switching the name tags and whatnot, so they having a little playful moment. Natalie says she gonna keep Jayla where she's at, pretty much by herself in her own room, next to Natalie, because Natalie's basically saying she needs some zen energy, and Jayla's gonna bring that to her. So they had a little funny moment. Jayla was like, "This is my room. Like, I'm gonna let you have it for the moment. You can borrow it, but this is my room." But they had a little fun, little banter. Then Bree and Sway go downstairs to the basement. They got a big area, kind of similar to what Rock had in the Atlanta house. Bree, and they had like at least I don't know if they had a nice bed either. No, they had normal beds, like twin size beds. And they liked it and whatnot. So Bree also was talking about how she was happy that Rock and Sway had kind of squashed their beef or whatnot, and just kind of came to some type of resolution. And she said she was hoping the same was gonna happen for her and Ann. And then we get to basically them sitting there talking about what else did they talk about? How they were pretty much ready to have fun and whatnot. They tired of the drama and shit. So then we get Slim and Rollie. Slim and Rollie got the worst room out of everybody in terms of like the bed situation. They both got bunk beds. And it's funny because there was one that was like a normal bunk bed where it's just each bed is kind of similar in size. And then you got the other one where the top bunk is small and the bottom is wide. So we all know that's going to be Rollie's. Well, Rollie says she hates bunk beds because she needs to get up. Like when she get in the bed, she needs to just rise up. She said bunk bed, she going to have to roll over. And she said she ain't trying to roll out the bed. So then we get Rock and Ann. And Rock and Ann have twin size beds, kind of similar to Sway and Breeze. And they get in there and Ann is aggravated. Ann says she basically want her one on again with Breeze. Like she mad. Like, you out here trying to tussle me in the grass. Like, no, absolutely not. She wants some more. And Rock was saying that she felt like she wants some more with Sway. And she said because she felt like her apology was fake. And I was like, Rock, here you go doing this shit again. But Rock was funny because Rock was saying like, if you had beef with me, and because Ann was basically asking like, why you think it was fake? She was like, if you had beef with me and you was trying to intimidate me or whatever, you didn't have to bring my nigga into it. Like, you didn't have to talk about him. Like, you should just try to do what you were trying to do without talking about her dude. So then Rock goes down the line, is basically telling her everything that happened on the bus when she was back to sleep. Told her that she's lying and crying about cancer and whatnot. And Ann was like, does she got cancer? And Rock was like, no, nigga, she ain't got no cancer. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm trying not to laugh because I don't know if it's true or not. If it is true, then I'm not laughing. Just act like I didn't do that. But Rock, she had me laughing at this point right here because she got in her confessional and was saying like, I'm not the type that's gonna put somebody down because I'm going through some shit. She said, I know that you saying that you're going through cancer and whatnot, but I got asthma and eczema. She's sitting there saying, I ain't like this. Ow, my eczema and it's itching and da. Rock is stupid, yo. Rock had me weak, and I don't know why her and Ann are together because that's a team right there. They funny, like they entertaining to me. Because Ann is a troll and Rock is a troll, so like they gonna be the antagonist of the show, and I'm low key here for it. I'm sorry, I am. But so far the show, it's been very entertaining. The episode's been entertaining. We got like 10 minutes left. So far we 3 for 3. All right, so we get to the scene where it's like a quick scene of Sway and Bree. They're walking outside because Sway going to the hospital because I guess Ann done cut her eye. This Sway can't see, so she going to the hospital. So the next thing we get is Rollie and Slim. They outside, basically chilling by the lake. Scenery is nice. North Carolina is nice in terms of like just scenery, in terms of nature and stuff. So they got a nice little capture of the city and well, not the city, Lake Norman. But they sitting there talking about it and whatnot. They saying like, it's beautiful out here. I want to enjoy it. That's what Rollie's saying. Like, I want to enjoy it, but I can't because these bitches is arguing and fighting all the time. And Slim was like, yeah, it's annoying. It's like, what are y'all trying to do? Like, are y'all trying to fight and be beefing with each other? Are you trying to fuck? Like, what's going on? Because it's like, you don't know what's going on. Because, like I said, Rock and Sway kind of made up, but then Rock ain't fucking with it. And who knows what's going to go down next. So they basically like, it's just stupid. And it's funny because these two and Jayla are like the two that aren't really, and I'll throw Natalie in there too. Them four are the only four that's not like with the drama. Like, they're just like, man, fuck it. But, which is interesting because apart from Jayla, the other three, they stay in drama. But, Ann then joins them outside and whatnot. And Rollie's talking about how she likes Ann. She's like, she's funny, she's blunt. She's like, she just say what she want to say. She don't give a fuck. She just do what she do. And she said she likes that and she appreciates that, but she said she messy too. Like, so I hope she don't play this bullshit with me because I want to keep her as a friend. And in a way, Rollie's saying like, I want to keep her as a friend because I don't want to have to fight her. Because if I fight her, then I ain't gonna fuck with her. Like, that's just what it is. Rollie is real. She real as fuck too. And that's another one I said was real. Like, Rollie's real. I mean, a lot of them are real. What am I talking about? Rollie real, Jayla real, Rock real. So I don't know. It's interesting, but she said basically she want to keep her as a friend because she like her. So then Ann starts talking about how Rock is going through it with Blue. She said like she happy that Slim and Rollie got each other and they right here. And she said like Rock is going through some shit because she not really feeling the whole situation with Blue and Sway. So I guess the shit that Sway was saying was kind of fucking with Rock, which would explain why Rock still want to fight her. And Rollie was not feeling it. She wasn't respecting it. She's like, because that's supposed to be your bitch. And you out here telling her business. And like, you out here, in a way, jocking her shit and then letting me know everything about it. And she's like, I can't move with people like that. And in a way, I feel where Rollie coming from. It's like, if I'm cool with you and I'm telling you stuff and confiding in you and stuff, I don't need you going around running my business through the streets. So Rollie wasn't feeling that. And then basically Slim was sitting there saying the same thing. Like, She said she liked both Bree and Ann, because they were asking, also Rollie was asking Ann, like, where does she stand with Sway and Bree? And Ann was like, it's still up. Like, I still want to fight both of them. I don't fuck with them. And she said that she heard that they both were around here saying they beat her ass and whatnot. And Slim was like, I mean, I like both you and Bree, but to me it seemed like a tie because y'all was rolling around in the grass and whatnot. And like I said, that's what it felt like to me too, because I ain't seen nobody throw hands. Like, I just saw them tussling around and rolling around in the grass. So if they do get around too, then we'll see what happens. But Slims also said that she didn't fuck with how Rock was saying that Sway was pretty much faking cancer and whatnot. And she said she was so in the moment, she couldn't really tell if she was being fake or not, or at least really lying about it. And I don't know either. Like, truth be told, I don't know. I need some medical records or at least whatever. But I'm gonna take Sway's word for it, because I would hope that she wouldn't get on here and lie about having cancer. But that's basically what she was saying. And then Ann was like, it's bullshit. Like, her name is Persuasion for a reason. She gonna sit here and try and persuade you into her extravagant, grandiose type extra ass story to believe that she got cancer so you can get it off of her. Because she was also saying that what Rod was saying is like, she basically lied and is being fake and like apologizing and whatnot because she don't want to get in no fights no more because she's scary. And she basically saying she's just saying all that just so she don't get in a fight. Which I don't know, I believe that, but who knows. But like I said, Slim said she wasn't fucking with Rock doing that shit with the cancer, but they ended up getting up. So we're going to see what's about to happen. We got like 5 minutes left, so let's see. It's probably about to be the cliffhanger of Ann and Rollie. It's probably going to be about Rock, so let's see. Alright, so we get back to the last scene. In the last scene, it just comes back to Ann and Rollie arguing. So they sitting there getting into it, and basically the whole thing is started because Rollie and Bree started talking. They came back in the house. Rollie and Bree go upstairs and talk in Rollie's room. Rollie said she done forgot what she was trying to tell Bree because all she heard was Ann downstairs screaming and shit, saying, keep her out of my room, yada, yada, yada. And Rollie said she came downstairs and she's like, she had no issue about it because she in her room. Like, she's in my room. She's in Rollie's room. So they start going at it and screaming at each other. They in each other's face at one point. And saying that she don't want Bree in her room fucking with her shit because she don't watch Bad Girls Club and she know they are notorious for fucking with people's shit. Which I ain't mad at her because I would feel the same way. And they do that shit on Bad Girls Club. And Bree is from Bad Girls Club. So Rollie was basically saying she acting like a little girl, like whatnot. And then Ann saying the same stuff, like, stop calling me a little girl. And Rollie said, if you acting like a little girl, I'm going to treat you like one. And then Ann started taunting her, turning around, shaking her ass in her face, saying, then hit me then, whoop me, spank me, spank me. And then Rollie sitting there rolling her weed in her backwood. And she's sitting there saying, like, she knows she don't want these problems, so she better stay over there and mind her business. Rollie done gave her a couple chances, and she kind of warned her a couple times, like, stop playing with me, you don't want these problems. So all this is happening, and Jayla and Rock are basically what I would be doing. Some people have told me to try to get on one of these shows. I ain't getting on these shows because it's pointless. But if I was to be on a show like this, I'd be standing there in the cut watching, laughing. But that's basically what Jayla and Rock was doing. So they end up still going back and forth and whatnot. And Rollie said that Ann ain't about to be out here running her blood pressure up. And Ann was like, well, I just did. It looked like I just did. And she said, no, you didn't. Because if you did, I'd be beating your ass right now. So Rollie's still sitting there doing that. And then she starts kicking her chairs because Ann starts, just that mouth just keeps going and keeps going. And you can tell Rollie's trying to keep it calm. But Ann keep going and keep going. So Rollie starts kicking the chair in front of her. The chair in front of her starts to fall down. Then Rollie get up out of her chair, starts moving her chair. So Rollie's moving shit out the way because it's about to get cracking at this point. Ann sees that. Ann jumps over the table, gets up in Rollie's face. Rock is like, these bitches is in each other's faces. They like 2 feet in front of each other. Rock said, if you even take 2 steps in front of me, I'm swinging on you. And I feel her. That's the same shit Seven said. Seven and Rock, they would have been like this because they said the same shit. But I feel her. Like, if you getting this close to me, you take 2 steps in front of me, I'm swinging on you too, especially if we got beef. And they start arguing, and Ann's still sitting in her face, and Rollie's just sitting there calm. You can tell Rollie's like, she getting ready to wind it up. And sure enough, Rollie swings, and then we see it going down. So, to me, Rollie, she threw the first punch, she hit her, and from what I saw from the ending and the cliffhanger, it looked like Rollie got the better of it. First, like, real fight, besides Rock piecing Sway up, but... So then the next part, pretty much the preview for next week, we see the aftermath of that. Rollie and Slim look like they getting into it because Slim said that she sees where she's coming from. I don't know what she's referencing, but that's something we're going to see. So it's cracks in Rollie and Slim shit. And then Bree's telling Sway that them two just got into it. Sway's happy about it. Then we end up seeing Jayla and Ann getting into it. And Jayla, being Jayla, just funny, said Ann with the bad built legs. just talking shit. Jayla's funny. Jayla gonna always get you together. But then we see Natalie bringing in a new girl named Scotty. She's from the South. I don't know where at from the South. She come in saying that she gonna run shit and whatnot. She said period thing. Rock wasn't feeling it. We all know how Rock is when new people come in, so we gonna see something like they gonna bump. So, good episode. Like I said, 3 for 3. I don't know what I just did. 3 for 3 with Zeus with the episode. So far, pretty good. Nothing was dragged out. Like I said, as always, it's been great. So it's been good so far. I'm really feeling it. Let me know what y'all think. Drop them comments. I appreciate y'all dropping the comments. Y'all been doing really, really great for me the last couple weeks. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep the subscribers coming. Thumbs up the video. Drop the comments. I don't care if you dislike. There's a couple people that was mad. Like this one girl who got mad because y'all are watching me review the show. Like, if you want to watch the show so bad, pay $5. And if you ain't got $5, then you don't need to be talking. Shut the fuck up. Like, what are you talking for? Because she was mad too. She's like, if you're not going to post the episodes, then why are you talking? Bitch, because I feel like it. That's why. Like, and if you want to watch the show so bad, pay $5 to go see the shit. Like, but she sat here and watched me. I know she watched me, so it's all good. Tell myself I'm going to hit the dislike button. But she did. Enough of me ranting, but thank y'all. Thumbs up the video. Drop the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the video. Follow me on social media. Like I said, drop them comments if you want to keep the conversation going or if you want to hit me up in the socials, do that too. I will see y'all next week. Peace.